Ukraine may have to rely on coalition of the willing as NATO unlikely to intervene. Ukraine may have to rely on a coalition of the willing to help defend it from another Russian land grab, because NATO is unlikely to intervene militarily, senior policy advisors warned last night. It comes amid a continuing military buildup by Moscow, which now sees 80,000 Russian troops and 2,000 tanks and armored vehicles positioned either in Crimea or flanking the Ukraine's borders. Some 14,000 shock troops, 16 battalion tactical groups arrived in the last few days alone. More worryingly still is the recent arrival to Russia's Black Sea Fleet's naval aviation unit of 6 Sukhoi Su-34 ground attack aircraft from the 559 Bomber Aviation Regiment based in Morozovsk, whose main task would be to support advancing ground troops. Britain, which currently has special forces in Ukraine, is preparing to deploy air, land and maritime assets to the region. Next month more than 250 troops, believed to be from 4th Scots, are due to join 1,000 NATO soldiers in the Partnership for Peace exercise called Cossack Mace, where they will operate alongside US, Polish, German and Italian forces across Ukraine. And vessels attached to the carrier strike force led by the Royal Navy's carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth are expected to peel off and undertake short Black Sea patrols in June. But there were questions over whether either of these would take on Thursday after US President Joe Biden recalled 2 US Navy destroyers headed for the Black Sea ahead of a bilateral summit with Russian Premier Vladimir Putin. And while Britain is assisting Ukraine in other ways, such as a £1.25 billion loan to help revitalize, it is unlikely to go further if Putin presses the button. A new report to be published next month by researchers at the Department of War Studies at King's College London will reveal that 3 years of intensive wargaming, including at Britain's Defence Academy in Shrivenham, over this potentially nuclear issue showed Russia winning every scenario until NATO allies redefined their objectives. NATO objectives were ultimately defined as NATO cohesion and defending its territorial integrity. Ukrainian security interests lay outside of this, said the report's lead author Ivanka Barzashka last night.